G'day and welcome to this little study. We are now at part 6 in a series of videos on Daniel's prophecy of the 70 weeks. The Holy Scriptures plainly show us that it was Nehemiah and Nehemiah alone who received the edict to restore and to build Jerusalem. Was this edict issued in 444 BC, as some are saying, or was it in 445 BC? Well, we're going to be attempting to answer that question, and in this study we're going to bring out some pretty solid historical evidence that the issuing of the decree by Artaxerxes in his 20th year to Nehemiah in the month of Nisan occurred in that springtime of 445 BC. There are a number of articles related to the subject over at the website endtimepilgrim.org, and there are also a few videos at the YouTube channel Gavin Finley. So in what year did Nehemiah receive that royal edict to restore and build Jerusalem? And here's our scripture from Nehemiah chapter 2. The narrator is Alexander Scorby.
Chapter 2. And it came to pass in the month Nisan, in the 20th year of Artaxerxes the king, that wine was before him. And I took up the wine, and gave it unto the king. Now I had not been beforetime sad in his presence. Wherefore the king said unto me, Why is thy countenance sad, seeing thou art not sick? This is nothing else but sorrow of heart. Then I was very sore afraid, and said unto the king, Let the king live forever. Why should not my countenance be sad, when the city, the place of my father's sepulchres, lieth waste, and the gates thereof are consumed with fire? Then the king said unto me, For what dost thou make request? So I prayed to the God of heaven. And I said unto the king, If it please the king, and if thy servant have found favor in thy sight, that thou wouldest send me unto Judah, unto the city of my father's sepulchres, that I may build it. And the king said unto me, the queen also sitting by him, For how long shall thy journey be, and when wilt thou return? So it pleased the king to send me, and I set him a time.
So there we have it. The edict came in the springtime Passover month of Nisan in the 20th year of Artaxerxes. And so we come to our next question. When was the first year of Artaxerxes? When did the Medo-Persian king Artaxerxes Longimanus ascend the throne? And some authorities assign the commencement of the reign of Artaxerxes to the death of Xerxes in July 465 BC. These authors say the eldest son of Xerxes, presumably the heir apparent, was then assassinated by Artaxerxes, his younger brother, who immediately took the throne in July of 465 BC. And this excerpt is from Ridpath's History of the World, circa 1910, page 365. And we read, Of the 3 sons of Xerxes, the eldest was put to death by the youngest, Artaxerxes, who at once, BC 465, took the throne. Sir Robert Anderson held to this July 465 BC commencement date as well. And this excerpt is from The Coming Prince, page 253 of Sir Robert Anderson's book. And we read, The death of Xerxes and the epoch beginning, the reign of Artaxerxes Longimanus, should be assigned to the latter part of July 465 BC. So by this reckoning, the first year of Artaxerxes Longimanus began in July of 465 BC and ended in July of 464 BC. So his 20th year would have begun 19 years later in July of 446 BC and ended in July of 445 BC. By this reckoning, the 20th year of Artaxerxes would have crossed the springtime Nisan moon in 445 BC. Others present evidence that Artabanus reigned for 7 months from July 465 BC, only to be assassinated by Artaxerxes later on in February of 464 BC. And the excerpt here is from the Aramaic papyri, and it is as follows. Xerxes was assassinated by Artabanus. Consequently, the accession of Artabanus can be fixed as July or August BC 465. And this particular excerpt made its way into the monthly notices of the Royal Astronomical Society, volume 69, page 8. By this reckoning, the first year of Artaxerxes Longimanus began in February of 464 BC, and if the first year of Artaxerxes began in February of 464 BC, the 20th year would have begun 19 years later in February of 445 BC. And since the Nisan moon comes in March of April, then we can fix the date for the edict in the springtime of 445 BC. And so according to this reckoning and the previous reckoning, the 20th year of Artaxerxes still tags the springtime Nisan moon in 445 BC. So we can say with very good assurance that the 70 weeks prophecy began under the springtime Nisan moon of 445 BC. I hope you're finding these studies helpful. They are being provided freely to all who love the God of Israel. Other videos are at the YouTube channel Gavin Finley and at the website endtimepilgrim.org. Grace and shalom to all.